Welcome and thank you for joining us on another episode of Great Outdoor Pursuits. This week we're going to join a group of diehard waterfowlers known as Team Webfoot out of Greenville, Michigan. Then we're going to do a little habitat creation with Jake Illinger of Habitat Solutions.
We are a dedicated, hardworking team of men and women with a strong passion for the outdoors. We hunt and fish in all conditions to bring you the best outdoor adventures. The crisp bite of the morning frost, the distant gobble from a lonely tom, or the screaming drag from a monster salmon give us the constant adrenaline rush that is our Great Outdoor Pursuits.
When it comes to waterfowl hunting, the guys at Team Webfoot know how to have a great time. We found ourselves on this opening morning sitting around a small drainage pond. The fog started rolling in, and before we could get the decoys set up, we had the action starting. This segment is brought to you by Last Flight Waterfowl Taxidermy.
Take them, guys!
Well, we got started at about 6 o'clock. This area we don't have to be in here and set up real early before shooting hours, so it was actually after shooting hours when we were done. As we were setting up, a flock of geese did come in and knock a couple birds out of. But we probably should have been started a little bit earlier, but typically we can sit here all day and birds just pile in here.
That one's head up. Come on. Here. Catch him up. Here.
It's not serious. We have fun.
Hey, so it turns out, what line you want me in?
Other side of the hill, I got one set up. It's real nice.
All right.
If you can't smile and have fun doing it, there's no sense in doing it. You know, deer hunting, you gotta sit there and be quiet. Out here, we talk. A lot of times we'll throw a football around. You know, whatever we gotta do to make time go by.
Here we improve the area. And you'd never know there was that many birds holding up in this little spot, being this close to the road. You know, all the houses in the area. I mean, there's nothing here for them on a little strip of water. I mean, you can't ask for better than that. You don't have to drive an hour. I'll take that any day.
Mine may not shoot like that. Lay it down on your side? Oh yeah, you gotta shoulder up. I'm telling you. That's a little messed up.
There you go! Here. Give. Good boy, give. Over! All over the toes, y'all.
Massive Mineral Mix is a special blend of trace minerals and nutrients, irresistible to gain. Is your buck getting his massive? Get bigger, get massive. Check them out online for a location nearest you. www.massivemineral.com. You live for this moment. You get one chance. One shot you cannot miss. Be sure that you don't, and stop them with Buck Stop. The buck stops here. Choose success, choose Buck Stop.
Are you looking to have your hunting and fishing videos seen on an episode of Great Outdoor Pursuits? Well, this could be your chance. Go to greatoutdoorpursuits.com. There you can find our Facebook page. If you click on the link, you can send us a direct message on how to submit your footage.
Take him, boys, take him! They're behind us.
Waterfowling, it's my life. It's what I do. It's what I work for. I've been with Team Webfoot for 15 years. I mean, a long time. Josh and I have been hunting together since we were old enough to hunt, 12 years. It's what I live for.
Take him.
I waited. That time I just gave up on you guys.
We're a little rusty. You know, I don't think we all shot over the summer like we should have. We were fortunate enough to get a good number of birds, and we pulled the trigger a few times. So I think that we got that out of the way, so maybe later in the season when it gets a little bit tougher, we'll hit a few more of them than we did today.
Take him! You hit it! Like him! He's going down. Right, almost to the rope. There you go!
Does the sight of a mature whitetail buck get your heart racing? Let Habitat Solutions create a plan to help you turn your property into a whitetail factory. Habitat Solutions will design custom land management plans specific to your hunting goals. Visit HabitatSolutions360.com to learn more. Gold Star Outdoors 2 carries everything for the outdoorsman. With guns, bows, and trailers, they are sure to have what you need for your next outdoor adventure. They have the largest trailer inventory in Southwest Michigan, on M66 south of I-96 in Lake Odessa. You live for this moment. You get one chance. One shot you cannot miss. Be sure that you don't, and stop them with Buck Stop. The buck stops here. Choose success. Choose Buck Stop.
This segment's brought to you by Mystic Rods at mysticoutdoors.com. This was the second goose opener we've been on with Team Webfoot, and the geese always seem to cooperate. Next, we're going to join Andy Arnold as we walk his deer hunting property with habitat specialist Jake Illinger of Habitat Solutions.
Get about a 35-40-page plan about, connecting hinge cuts to bedding and food and things like that.
I'm with Northwoods Hunting Club up here in northern Michigan in the 12 county Antler Point restricted area. And today we took the time to bring in a habitat consultant and have a look at a couple properties that we have. Really excited about the opportunity to improve the habitat and improve our deer hunting in an area that hopefully big bucks are going to have the opportunity to grow.
You're getting oak buds down at the deer level 12 months out of the year. You know, they're not doing the deer any good up there.
Right, exactly. So I mean, how do you feel? I mean, is it
Yeah.
hinge cut? Are you open to hinge cutting? And
You know, and it'd be in certain pockets. You know, it's purely in small areas you do it, and for say some pinch points for hunting stands or screening cover, so you can get to and from a food plot, or maybe for security around a food plot, you do that kind of thing. My name is Jake Hillinger. I own a business called Habitat Solutions. I am a whitetail habitat consultant. I go to landowners and hunters' properties and develop a full-blown, probably a 10 to 15-year plan so that you can increase the habitat and the carrying capacity and have better luck taking adult does, mature bucks, or something in between. I do just a really detailed engineering design on the habitat itself. I do a really full, you know, probably a 30 to 40 page written plan, taking you step by step through all the necessary things you need to do to improve your property, increase bedding areas, food plots, stand locations, just a lot of things that people seem to miss to have their hunting property become that whitetail deer factory that they want.
you know, our goals here is that, you know, we've done some cuttings, we've done some you know, food plots, and we've laid them out, and you know, the question was, are we heading in the right direction? And you know, with a bunch of guys that you know, you do a lot of reading, you do a lot of video watching, you do a lot of internet surfing, you know, trying to figure out all the answers. You know, I pretty much have taken it as far as I was able to do it comfortably, and to the point where I don't want to waste any more time. I don't want to keep spinning my wheels. I don't want to sit here and do the trial and error that somebody like Jake has already done.
Property 1 is an 80-acre property that's just been through a pretty serious selective harvest. And so because of that, he's lacking a lot of security cover, but a lot of regeneration is coming in the future, and they have worked hard at putting some food plots in here in the last couple of years, and that's definitely going to help. But right now they're behind in having good bedding areas. But 5, 6 to 8 years, as the regeneration comes in, they're going to have a lot of opportunities to build bedding areas and increase the security, which again will carry a lot more deer, and they'll see a lot more daytime deer movement. So there's a few things they can work on here in the first couple of years, but really there's a lot they're going to be able to do, say, 6, 8 years from now. Property 2 was a 40-acre property, pretty much a teenage to mature growth of a mixture of pines, oaks, popple, aspen. It's got a creek that runs through it. It's got a really nice water system on it. Just a really nice property just the way it sits. Good opportunities to produce food for food plots. Nice topography changes. Just an ideal property. I mean, it is, as far as the age class of the trees, he can go in there, and we did today. We did some hinge cutting. I demonstrated how to do some buck beds, some doe bedding communities, how to do some screening along the road. This property with 3 or 4 weekends of work is just going to be a hot hunting property. I expect him to do real well in the next couple of years here.
Well, you know, you cut some of these limbs out of here, and I think, you know, there's actually a pretty good hole in the sky.
Right. You know, again, you got to use the right things. Like crimson clover does pretty good in shade. It's one of the few that'll do well in shade. And you know, winter rye doesn't do bad in shade. Little dwarf Essex rape, yeah.
I've got little spots like this that I take care of that way, and
just here on this side of your property.
Last year I had a great opportunity with another family member to pick up an additional 40 acres just south of here in the same Antler Point restricted area. Completely different type of habitat, you know, with water and different age structure with the trees, and being the first time that you know, we've ever hunted it was literally when we bought it right in the middle of gun season last year. You know, first thing I want to do this spring is bring somebody in like Jake and start right off on the right foot do things correctly, not do things, you know, and then backtrack and try to do them, you know, a different way later. But you know, you can do so much, but having somebody really lay out a plan with you, and he shapes it around our goals, what we're trying to accomplish.
Throughout the assessment today, you know, I would identify areas where we could find deer bedding, and we actually found some buck beds and some doe bedding areas. And one of the things that both the properties I noticed here in this Lake County seems to be a high deer density, a lot of heavy browse pressure on any of the existing shrubs that were in the preferred species. I mean, there were undesirable trees being browsed hard, and any of the oaks and maples seem to be mowed right off at about the 18 into 2 foot level here. So there's high deer density, so there's going to be some challenges to get this property into shape. So, you know, that's one of the things I try to point out to the landowner is whether you've got, you know, too many deer or not enough deer, and they probably have more deer per square mile here than they really should, but this region's kind of known for that.
There's a plan that, you know, I'll see in a few months that we can really start, you know, putting in place over the next, you know, few years. You know, you can't do everything in the first year, but, you know, it's something that, you know, 10, 20 years from now when my kids are old enough to really be involved in hunting a lot, all this stuff will be in place, and it's the hard work that we do today that's going to benefit, you know, not only my children, but, you know, everybody that hunts these properties for years to come. And you know, with that being the goal, you know, sitting around and waiting to start that process 5 years from now, 6 years from now, 7 years from now, just puts you that much further behind, you know, and starting today is what's important to me and the people that are involved up here with these properties.
And what you try to do is think about a deer and the height of him, and so you want that deer to be able to stand up, move around, and get stuff out of its face.
The goal is the on-site, the knowledge, the walkthrough information. You know, it really pointed out a number of things that we were doing correctly, some of the things that we can do better, some of the things that we may not have done perfectly that we can improve upon. And you can really only get that with somebody coming out on the site, walking around with you. So, you know, that part of it was definitely met. And then we, you know, on the second property, we took the time and did the hands-on stuff, which really taught me a lot. I really got my hands dirty in that type of application. When it comes to habitat, it's been mostly, you know, clearing food plots, tilling them up, worrying about fertilizer and lime and the seeds that you're putting in the ground. And so, you know, the actual habitat part of it's completely new to me, and having that shown right on our properties was fantastic.
That gorgeous radius, that's just what you want right here.
Okay, so, and it will grow like that.
That tree is going to stay alive for years. You'll be amazed. There'll be new vertical growth coming off of here. So you get the sucker growth right here that deer can get to. There'll be all kinds of growth coming off. Yeah, that's what keeps it alive. The cambium layer is all intact. So all the water and nutrients just continues to flow right down that tree. Do another one? It'll take me a few months, but when I finish up my plan and report to the landowner, I'm going to identify exactly where to put the buck beds, where to put the doe beds, and I call them family bedding communities, where to put the food plots, and I'm going to help him with screening and access too. So these are very detailed engineering drawings and reports, and there's a lot of information, and it's going to take him 10 or 15 years to accomplish everything. But he is going to know exactly where the deer are bedding, and he's going to know how to get into his stands, and I'm actually going to lay out the hunting procedures and how to enter and exit as well. So, I mean, there's just a lot that I'm going to do for him that's going to help him be successful here.
If the deer aren't hanging out on your property, a call to Jake is what you need. Thank you for joining us on this week's episode. We hope you enjoyed it. If you want to follow along with the Great Outdoor Pursuits team, check out our website at greatoutdoorpursuits.com. There you'll find our Facebook and Twitter feeds, and you can follow all of our upcoming news. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week.